Greetings everyone, and welcome to my little garden. It's been a while since we've done one of this, right? Well, I'm very excited to get started with these new starter decks, so we are gonna first open up Ultimate Ancient Dragon, followed by Parallel World Tactician. Let's see what the contents are. I've said this before and I'll say it again, but these boxes, I tell you, they have such ridiculous packaging. Look at all this plastic here taking up so much space in the box. Whatever. At least the box art looks cool, so. Okay, here we have our Digi-Eggs, Minomon. Oh, before we get to the actual deck, actually, let's take a look at these. These are index cards, so we don't really need that. But this is really cool. I like that. Wow. Do you see how nicely done that is? The zero is not very well centered, but otherwise these are such pretty looking cards. Look at them. This is your memory counter. I've seen the one for Parallel World Tactician before because I have a friend who uses it. Shoutouts to Honey Dude. I'm going to link his Twitch in the description below. But yeah, let's move on to the actual deck, shall we? Okay, so here we have 4 copies of Minomon. While you have a blue Digimon in play, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. Green has a lot of ways to increase their DP, but blue doesn't, so this is a very good card, and Imperialdramon could always use a little bit of oomph. Vmon, this one searches for cards. This one searches for cards with free in its traits. This is a new Betamon that can evolve from either green or blue Digi-Eggs, so that's very good. Okay, and then we have a new version of XVmon. And look at that, you guys. Look at that. The Imperialdramon, the Imperialdramon cards look so pretty, and this is just, and they're super rare, and so is the Imperialdramon Dragon mode. I think of all the Imperialdramons, this is probably the one that I like the most in terms of artwork. Like, holy cow, that is just such beautiful looking cards. And then we have Ko Kabuterimon, which turns out to be a blocker. Blockers haven't really been that useful since at least BT4, but they can still come in clutch a lot of the time, so. And we have a new Wormmon that can also evolve from green or blue. That is really nice. This is a very good Stingmon. 4 costs to play, but it's actually only 3 costs to play if you already have a blue Digimon in the field, and that is not at all very hard to do in this type of playstyle. Snymon, a new type of security card. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon on play, so that could really come in clutch for security purposes. We have Dino Beamon. Unlike Imperialdramon, you actually get 4 copies of Dino Beamon, so that's very interesting. Jewel Beamon, 4 copies of Jewel Beamon, again with the 2 to evolve memory cost for green. They're really the only ones that can do this very consistently. And then we have a new rare card, Grand Quagamon, a full playset of Mega Digimon, you guys. That is just really nice to have. It is not the most preferred of any green level 6s, not by a long shot, but honestly I would love to use this for like a Grand Quagamon themed deck. We have Megadeth, really cool artwork for that. Hell Masquerade. Oh, and this is the one that I've been looking forward to the most. Yet another new art for Flower Cannon. Flower Cannon has always been one of my favorite option cards since day one, since set 1.0, and this is the 4th overall official art for Flower Cannon. I can't wait to see more versions of other option cards, honestly, in the future. If they're gonna do this, they're gonna do this for other options as well. So, and this is probably my favorite artwork of Flower Cannon. Actually, no, the one from Tamer's Evolution box is my favorite art, but this is a really cool second place. So, Now let's move on to the next starter deck, shall we? Okay, so something to note, unlike the other previous starter decks, this one doesn't seem to come with a bonus booster pack, or it doesn't have the promo super rares like they did for the memory boost option cards, like for the Gallantmon and Ulforce Vidramon decks. These are by far the most basic starter decks, and they were cheaper actually than the other ones that I can remember. Look at that, Angelmon and Lady Devimon. Oh, such beautiful, beautiful card art. Do you see this? It's amazing. Like I said, I've seen it before with Honeydude because I like to play with this guy for Digimon when it comes to Digimon, but it's so much more satisfying to just see these in person, and I'm probably going to be using this for my memory counter from now on. It's just so cool. And let's see, we have Nyaramon here. This is the first purple Nyaramon. The other Nyaramon that we had before was for yellow. And then we have 4 copies of a new Salamon, Lopmon. Do you see this, guys? This is the signature style of one of my favorite artists for the TCG, who is named Koki. Koki did another art for the other starter deck. Let me just find it. Here we go. Here is yet another Koki art. Do you see what I mean by his signature style? He tends to use very soft curves on the lines, and they tend to be highly expressive, and the usage of colors tend to be very soft too. It's just a very pleasant looking art style, and I live for his cards, honestly. I'm thinking about making just like a collection of just his cards, but I would have to at least have 1 copy of everything that he's ever done, and I'm not sure if I'm familiar with all of his cards yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, so some more Lopmons. Oh wow, the super rare Gatomon is very beautiful. So this is the one that really helps you search for exactly the right cards for a Mastemon Jogress deck, and you only get 2 copies for the starter deck, so that's kind of unfortunate, but that's why I also bought a second copy of both Parallel World Tactician and Ultimate Ancient Dragon, which guarantees me a full playset of all the important cards. Then we have Angelmon. Oh my gosh, such a beautiful looking art. This has got to be one of my favorite Angelmon art. My actual favorite one is the alternate art of BT3 Angelmon that decreases the opponent's security checks on Digivolve. So, but this just looks really pretty. And of course, the star card of the starter deck is Mastemon. This is the second Mastemon the TCG has seen, and this one actually does the DNA Digivolution mechanics. It used to be just you used to Digivolve from either level 5 yellow or purple, but this one you can actually do Jogress, which is a completely new mechanic that is new to us. And look, here's yet another Koki art card for this starter deck. He's done so many different cards over the course of this game's lifespan, and I'm just so excited to see more of his style being portrayed in the Digimon TCG, so looking forward to that very much so. Tsukaimon, only 2 copies of this. Okay, oh, and it's a searcher card as well. Okay, I thought I'd get 4 copies of this, but I guess I misread that. 4 copies of Witchmon. I really like this one. Return one of your level 5 or lower Digimon cards from your trash to your hand. That's really clutch, and you can do another Jogress potentially, or you can put this as a tech option in a different type of purple deck, I think. That would be really, really cool. Wizardmon, who can digivolve from either purple or yellow for only a 2 cost, which is unlike the Gatomon that we saw earlier that would digivolve for 3 costs, so she's a bit expensive. We have Mastemon, which can delete your opponent's rookies on play. Cool. And we have 4 copies of the new Lady Devimon art. This is by far my favorite art of any Lady Devimon cards. We've only had a few, but this one is just the nicest. Just such a good looking dynamic pose. The printing on the card is just so nice. You can see that she is traced with like a purple aura around her silhouette, so that makes her like really dynamic. Oh my gosh, it's just a really pretty looking card. I love it. Speaking of pretty cards, this starter deck is not short of the waifus, and we have Junomon, which is an uncommon actually. I expected this to be a rare card, but it's an uncommon. It is one of the Olympus 12, and I am sort of expecting the Olympus 12 to further get more support in the future. When it comes to Olympus 12, the most powerful one that has made an impact to the TCG so far was Sarasmon, but Sarasmon's reign has long since come and gone. In the future, we are supposed to be getting more new cards such as Venusmon and Minervamon, which are going to be super rares, just like Sarasmon. Chaos Degradation. Now this card is underrated, and I definitely want to use this as often as I am allowed to. Place one of your opponent's Digimon face down at the top or bottom of your opponent's security stack. And if you do, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. That is so good. For 8 costs, this is one of the most unique removal options the game has ever seen. There are effects out there that Digimon have that prevents them from being removed. It prevents them from being deleted, returned to the hand, returned to the deck. It prevents them from DP depletion. But this bypasses all of that because you're not technically removing those Digimon through those methods. You are putting them in the opponent's security stack, and you can actually still get rid of them in their security stack. So that to me is just such an amazing way of bypassing things like Omnimon or Eldoradimon, for example. That's just really cool. Okay, we have a brand new option card, Darkness Wave. Trash the top 3 cards of your deck, then if you have a yellow Digimon in play, return 1 yellow or purple Digimon card from your trash to your hand. That's actually a really cool option, and even if you're not playing a DNA Digivolution deck, this is still really good for yellow-purple decks because they tend to be popular color pairings. A lot of decks have been made with yellow and purple cards without DNA Digivolution, and that was before we even got the starter deck. And we have a new artwork of Night Raid, which is an old card from set 1.0, just like Flower Cannon. And this is a really good card, honestly, especially in the earlier playstyles of purple decks, but I find this to be a very good card even to this day. For the context of this starter deck, I think I'd have to agree that this is still a very useful card. But I think Darkness Wave is overall more useful than Night Raid for DNA Digivolution playstyle. But we'll see. I can always experiment. Anyone can always experiment. Okay, and that's it. That is the end of the video. Once again, I would like to give my shoutouts to Honeydude. He's one of my favorite Twitch streamers right now. He's a casual streamer, and he and I play a lot of Digimon TCG, so I'll be linking his Twitch in the description below. And I really enjoyed doing this box opening video, and I hope that I will see you again in the next set of starter decks. So, toodaloo, have fun, and remember to train hard, tamers!